You had a question.
Yeah, how do you get your kids to feel comfortable talking to you?
Yeah, which I thought was a great question.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it because I have, my daughter, our daughter, she's a very quiet kid, and so she doesn't really talk to us.
She's like an internal thinker. You can always tell that there's a lot going on behind those eyes.
I'm always asking. She's actually become I think she's getting a lot more comfortable in her own skin.
Yeah.
And so she's actually a little more active. Like, she's a lot more talkative now. Like, I think she's feeling right. But it just made me think, like, as a kid myself, I never told my mom shit. Like, I kept everything in there. So, like, as a parent, how do you help your kids not kind of do that? Because you know, as a kid, you want to tell your parents things.
Right.
Or you need to bring something up, but you're afraid to. Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom.
And we're the dynamic duo.
It is Sunday morning.
It is Sunday morning.
We're trying to come in so hot. Last week we had to do a little editing to make it a little bit interesting.
It wasn't as hot, but it was still good.
It was a soft landing, as I keep saying. So,
as I was telling him earlier, I was like, we didn't fluff each other last time.
No, we just jumped right in. Poor Matt.
I think we got nervous with the third. Is what I was saying.
We shouldn't have. It went pretty well, I think.
No,
overall, in the end. But yeah, a little more editing in the beginning than we had to do any other time. So that's all good. But we just have to be careful not to talk over each other, I think, today.
Yeah, we probably will. We do it anyway, but that's just how we roll. Though.
Yeah, that's the honest to God truth. And we like to tell the truth.
Yeah, the whole truth, none but the truth. So help me God.
This podcast is all about truth.
Yeah,
and honesty. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah. Good. Yeah, work's been steady. Yeah, I'm down at Tech, so now I'm probably gonna go to Spokane on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. Oh, sorry, babe. I'll tell you when I get home.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you say that you're going out of town now too?
Yeah, I'm going out. Well, we have a new clinic opening, so I'll be going out of town not this week, but the following week.
Yeah.
So I'm about a week, a little over a week.
Okay.
Away. I'll be in Oregon for probably the week.
Yeah. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's cool to do open new clinics. It's fun because it's like, I'm working with some of my guys, and it's always cool working with them. And then I'm actually in the field doing stuff,
like hands-on work.
Yeah. I get tired of sitting at the desk working on paperwork. I mean, there's guys out there that know, I'm not built that way. I'll do it obviously because it's my job, but at the same time, I rather be out and about. So this next month and whatever, I'll be in and out of the office, out of my house, a lot more because I'm gonna be site visiting with techs, and
it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I like it. I did some last week. Worked with one of my tech, Johnny. He listens to the show sometimes.
Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, and he so I went with him, and then Brian, my buddy Brian. One of the techs there, my buddy. Well, he's a friend. I always consider them all friends. They're probably like, man, this is my boss, man. Don't call me that.
I do not like him.
I do not like that guy. He's so mean to me.
Do not call me your friend.
Right?
I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah, maybe like an apprentice. Friend,
okay.
Friend? Yeah, I don't know.
I'll let you think that I'm your friend.
Yeah. But so I was with him for a little bit, and it's cool. He's always cool to talk to, though, because he's very he's really into fitness.
Okay.
So he's in this.
Oh, you told me. Yeah, you told me about him that he's got these workout goals. And
which I think is really cool. He's pretty right on it, but
nice, good for you.
Yeah, and he does theater, he does plays and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Theater and stuff. Yeah, I told him I don't know if he believes me when I said it, because I've gone to a few plays before in my life, and they're cool. And I was in drama when I was in high school.
I enjoy a good play.
Yeah, dude, it's really cool.
Yeah, I wish I had the guts to do it.
Yeah, no, I think you'd be good. I suck.
Thank you.
I did drama in high school for I don't know if it was. I think it was 2 years.
Yeah,
and I get nervous in front of people. I'll joke around with people
right. I have a hard time not making myself look stupid on purpose.
Yeah.
In those moments. Because I feel I'm being way too serious with this.
Yeah. No. So I was that wasn't one of my things. I just liked it. I love the teacher and whatever. So it was fun. That's so awesome. Brian does that, and I was like, he was telling me about, a play. I was like, hey man, let me know, dude. I'll go to that. Like my wife's never been to one. Like I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
To go to one.
Yeah. Let him know. I would go. I would go to a play for sure.
He didn't let me know, but obviously I don't know.
That
I don't know if it's weird.
He does not like you. Yeah. You are not his friend.
Right.
No, you know what we should do sometime is print out like a page of a play and we should read it in our best acting.
Oh God.
On the podcast.
I'd get so nervous. Full school on 7 years ago.
They will know how poorly I read.
Reading?
No, could you imagine trying to do like a dry run through a play without ever seeing the page before?
Oh, yeah.
You're like acting it on the spot. I've never acted,
so like I said, I did drama. So we would do that. We'd get like the script or something. And you'd have your, this is what you'll say. Yeah. Mine was always like, ooh. Something stupid.
They gave you the tree in the wind part or something. It's blowing, Jesse. It's blowing.
Yeah,
move your limbs.
I think one of the plays we did was Taming of the Shrew.
Oh yeah,
Shakespeare.
Good old Shakespearean drama. Yeah,
and I was probably the stew. I was probably like
the stew.
stew like
bubble, 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 bubble. Was that the one with the witches?
I think so. It's been a long time.
No, that was Macbeth, wasn't it? With the witches.
I don't know.
Devil, toil and trouble.
See, I could.
Isn't that a Disney thing?
Yeah, but I think that started with. If I'm not mistaken,
I
think that was from Macbeth.
I'm trying to remember what Taming of the Shrew was.
Taming of the Shrew was when Emma Thompson.
I said I'm this. I said I was the stew.
Well, that's why that's where my confusion came from. I'm like,
I said it right.
I took a Shakespeare class in college. I got a C-, so I'm an expert on Shakespeare.
But like we'd read through scripts and stuff, and it was cool. But there was kids that were in my class that were like good. Mm-hmm. Like they were good. Like my ex-girlfriend was in drama
now, right?
I don't know if she is, but no. My ex-girlfriend, she was in drama. That's part of the reason she was in it. So I was like, I'll join.
Yeah, sure.
But she was good. She was always like one of the leads. And then I had this friend named Tim, and he was always like a lead. Drama people, some of the funniest, like weirdest people.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if weird people are like something that freaks you out, drama's probably not gonna
do drama.
But they're just their authentic selves.
Yeah,
is the thing.
Elena could be a drama kid, I think. She's 100% authentic with herself.
So I could see her, even if she's not going to be in front, she'll be backstage.
Oh yeah,
like
set design and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Our daughter's we're very proud.
She's very
talented.
She's very talented.
For those of you tuning in the first time, we share a stepchild.
We share a stepchild.
A biological child.
Yeah. I know. Sometimes I wonder if we should go back to that.
I don't know. Just so everyone knows.
No, I mean, sometimes you got to. That's like, I'm sure there's new listeners that are like, who are these guys?
Yeah. For the new subscriber from yesterday, thank you for joining.
We are just two dads that just happen to share. Well, we don't share a wife, but like his
Join
wife.
us on our journey as two men share a wife. We are just weirdly blended.
Coming soon on Oxygen.
TLC replacing the guy that's divorcing everybody. Yeah. Right after 90 Day Fiance.
It sounds like a fucking show, don't it?
Yeah. We're a spinoff of
90 Days.
We really like that other guy that had 80 wives, so we're doing it in the reverse. What's his name?
Sister Wives show?
Sister Wives, yeah. You saw Sister Wives. Try brother husband. Only on DLC.
Brother husbands.
Oh my God. No, we're not that scenario. But anyway.
But no, he's with my ex-wife.
Which is not at all any weirder.
And it's not any other weird.
It's not weird married. To us. That's the
I'm
cool
obviously
thing,
remarried, and I have my own wife now. So
I have my own wife. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I have my own wife. You can have that one. Anyway,
I just bought mine.
Okay, that's pretty great.
I bought mine. She's awesome.
Yeah, she came from Russia. Beautiful woman, wonderful.
Yeah, she came from Russia. She's Hispanic. It's awesome.
she immigrated from Mexico to Russia and decided that was a bad move. So
can you imagine?
She's like, "Ooh, Ukraine, I'm out.
I'm done." Yeah, I don't want to be involved in this.
Okay. Anyway,
but no.
So that's our story.
That is our story, and we just happen to become best friends, and
here we are
doing a podcast,
podcasting. So yeah.
Long story short, he married my ex-wife. I have my.
He found one on the street.
Found someone.
Anyway, okay, all right,
and there you go.
Anyway, there you go. Here we are,
and here we go, and that's it, and that's how the family's made.
Where were we going? Oh yeah, we were talking about Elena. We were talking about
drama, and how shitty we'd be actually talking.
We would be great. I think we could really pull it off.
I think I would now a little better than I did then.
Yeah. Back
then, even now I don't really like talking in front of people, but back then was like.
Well, did you ever watch Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny? Did you ever see that movie?
I don't know if I've seen the movie. I had the
Jack
album.
Black and Kyle Gass there. Kyle Gass is pulling off like he's this like god of music, and Jack Black's like this stupid kid in LA and doesn't know any better. And so Kyle Gass is playing like he's like the expert training Jack Black, and he gets Jack Black up in the living room of this tiny, crappy apartment in Venice Beach. And Jack Black has to perform. Well, he's drawn these angry faces on a bunch of like paper plates and put it on t-shirts on these chairs, and he'll play these boos and these chants at Jack Black as he's trying to perform. He has bottles that throw at him. It is one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen. At one point, Jack Black breaks down and starts to cry, and Kyle Gass goes, "Stop it, stop," as if he's actually has somebody working for him. It's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. I love it.
I don't think I've seen it.
So funny. But I'm like, my point being, we could do that. We could set up a bunch of faces on paper plates
and just have someone
and train ourselves. No, this is
just
easy.
Have Blanca.
Oh yeah. Oh well, she'll actually be mean, and I will actually start to cry. So, and your wife will speak Russian. We won't have a clue what she's saying, but
then she'll throw stuff at me.
I'm just kidding. His wife is a wonderful woman. Does not speak a lick of Russian.
She does not. Spanish, yes. Russian, no. Mm-hmm. But
anyway.
But yeah, no drama. It's cool. I think
it's great. This is so easy though, because we just put our voices out. And then we don't have to see anybody.
And I don't have to re-see it sometimes.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie.
If I don't want to listen back, I don't. There's like actors that don't go and see their own movies.
I could see, after, not that these are the same thing, but after doing a podcast, I can see why, because I don't like hearing my own voice. Right.
See, and I
wonder if, like, I'm used to it now. To hear my voice, I'm used to it because of like we do editing and all that stuff. Hearing it back, like I got over that pretty quickly.
Right.
So acting, I can see why it's like, I don't want to see myself act that way.
I can see how you could get in your head. If you're watching it and critiquing yourself all the time, like, oh, I should have like done this instead. I should have I was off. They told me like, this is the X and I was off. I know I was off.
The X was right there. I remember when that happened.
Getting in your head and being like, I suck.
You're psyching yourself out for the next movie.
Like you're so amped up trying to fix it that then you're overthinking it, and you're like already a talented actor. That's why you're in movies.
And you fucked up.
But then you screw it all up.
So I wonder if that's why some of like the good actors that do some movies that you're like, wow, why would they be in that movie? And that movie kind of sucks because maybe they're trying to
compensate.
Like, oh, I'm the best actor out here.
Right.
I'm going to overact.
Right. I'm going to,
be like, they were actually the worst actor on that set.
Yeah. Blanca and I watched the movie last night. Like, I mean, I wanted it to be good. And I'm not going to mention.
Don't you hate that?
Where we watched it or what it was. I don't want to criticize it, but.
Where we watched it. Okay. Don't need to know that.
We were at home. I'm saying like who produced it. I don't want to get, with all of our fans out there. I don't want to
1 point millions.
I don't want
1 point millions.
Hulu or Netflix or any of those guys coming after me. But
well, no, I think it's honestly
it didn't
what
make
movie
sense.
Is it?
The movie, I don't even remember the name of it. That's part of the reason I'm not bringing it up. But so the whole premise
sucks.
The whole premise was like. I can't even tell what the premise was.
Was there any known actors?
Dakota
Fanning?
No. The one that was in the 50 Shades of Grey movie was in it.
Oh, and Dakota Johnson or something like that.
Yeah. And I'm like the whole time I'm watching it. told you to do it, but now I'm angry.
I'll never get over that.
Don't get me. Well, anyway, at least Blanc and I have talked about that film. At least they made visually, auditorily, they brought that film together. It wasn't a bad movie. Like I told her, I could watch those movies.
What, 50 Shades?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I thought they were stupid. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, they're not really my thing. But as a film, I could accept it because the cinematography was good, the lighting was good, the audio was good.
Yeah.
It was a production movie where they really could have just cut corners because they knew a bunch of people would see it.
Daddy, no, smack.
I mean, writing-wise, I'm not saying. There's a starting point you're working with. But I'm just saying, as far as a film, quality of film goes, it was, not a poorly done movie.
Yeah, true.
The quality was there.
But your movie...
But the movie we watched, I mean, I'm like, it was a suspenseful, like, horror-ish kind of movie. But by the end of it, I'm like, what is going on? Like, why? Yeah. It just wasn't tight enough. I mean, it didn't, like, by the end of it, I was almost more confused than at the beginning. And I'm like, I don't want to criticize it too much because maybe I'm just too stupid to get the meaning or the message behind it. But usually I'm pretty good at pulling that stuff out.
I feel like I'm like when I watch a movie, I'll understand it. There's times maybe I'm not like paying attention to where I'm trying to find the message within the movie.
Right.
But
sometimes
if a movie sucks, I'll say it right after. I'm like, that movie was trash.
Well, we watched the whole thing, and it's one of those where
but I hate a movie where you don't want to
just write it off because there was there were some good things in the movie, but there's a scene where Blanc and I were laughing because there's this like, he's kind of like overweight, but he's definitely like this stocky guy.
Yeah.
Kind of like masculine looking. Well, the main character keeps like throwing him on the bed and slamming him back down onto the bed, and the guy's like, but we were laughing like so it looks like homoerotic almost. Oh, yeah. Like the way he's throwing this guy on the bed, he's like, oh. And
so the way you were just saying, I was thinking it was like a sex scene coming up.
It wasn't at all. It wasn't even close to it. But you get this.
Be like, man, that kind of made me feel some type of way.
Like, I don't know. Anyway, I love the setting of it. I love the setting of the movie. It was in New Orleans. It was in like a seedy part of town sort of feel, like grimy. I loved that. I loved aspects of the film. I loved bits and pieces. But so I really I would like to have this movie redone in a just slightly different way.
This, please?
Like, can we get all the actors back, reshoot a couple things, cut it back together, and make it make a little more sense? Anyway, I mean, because it's like I'm not going to go any more into detail. If you want to watch it, I'll just give it away. Go on Hulu and look up, what the hell was it called?
I mean, it's a movie.
It's a one-word movie, and it's got Dakota Johnson in it. Just watch it. Let me know what you think. It's called 50 Shades of Grey. It didn't make any sense at all.
50 Shades fucking made me laugh because of that end scene. Like you said, the movie itself,
it wasn't a poorly done film. I was impressed by the quality they put into it for the fact that they knew an audience would go to it regardless.
Yeah, what it was good.
Yeah,
right.
But
I didn't expect it to win awards. When I seen it, I wasn't like, this better be the best movie I've ever seen.
Right.
This better make my butt wet.
It's like, my wife really wants to see it. I'm going to throw her a bone this time. Let's go.
No, if my wife wants to see it, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Because,
Sure.
Sometimes those movies get the ladies, riled up. They're coming home to us.
We come home, we spank her a little bit. She gets mad, leaves for a week.
Yeah. It's like, babe, this is what they did. But no, that scene where it's like, he like spanks her and she wants it more or something, right?
She wants him to go through with it. And he's like, no.
No, he even told her, no, you won't like it.
And she's like, do it. And so he does it.
And then she cries and fucking mad at him.
She's all upset because like
he abused her.
And the point she was making was, do you see how you're treating me? And then she left.
And his point is, because I like it.
That's what I told you when you signed the contract. You signed the paper. You have to do this.
If someone comes at me with a paper, and I think we talked about this, and I have to sign a contract, I'm out.
A non-disclosure agreement? Nope.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
Well, it was fun and sexy at the time. She got to be funny and nope. And then she's like, fine, you can spank me all you want. And then she gets angry and bails. It's like, come on. He told you. I don't want to do this.
That sums up women. They're very confusing sometimes. They say one thing, mean another.
Ladies, I mean, you got to be kind of
because what she would have wanted was him to just not go through it. Even though she's saying do it, and he kept saying no, she was like, I just want to see if he's gonna. And then if he does it, I'm going to be mad because he should have known better.
I want me to be the girl that he can't do it to.
Yeah. No, that's what it was.
And then he can. She's like...
I can't control him.
Come on. Like, and
then she becomes the biggest slut in all the other movies. And I'm just like, I don't know.
And then she's banging dudes on the street corner. No, the other movies, whatever. They had their little arc. And
I'll have to look up that.
But they weren't poorly made films. And,
no.
Like this
I'll have to look the one about that. And it could be a movie I've seen and it was so not that great that I forgot.
I don't think you did because I think it just came out. It wasn't. I mean, I don't know. My guess is it was a budget film. There was a lot of like handheld camera, which they did it correctly. I mean, they did it to give the feel that you want that to give.
Like shaking.
But I mean, it's like you use it a lot and you kind of get the sense like, okay, we're only seeing like 2 or 3 different places. There's like a handful of actors. There's a lot of handheld camera work. Like I get the feeling there was not the big budget for this film.
They don't have a real stationary camera.
Yeah. I mean, like there's, I don't know. Anyway, watch it.
Yeah, I watched.
It's worth it enough. I've talked about it for 20 minutes, I guess.
But
I walked away from it feeling like
I'll talk about a shitty movie for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
because it's so funny. Those kind of movies. Like I'm not saying this is shitty, but like
it had its moment with slamming the guy on the bed several times. But
I love a good movie that's going to make me laugh. That's why me and my mom used to watch Walker, Texas Ranger, the old school one.
Oh yeah,
because it was so terrible.
It was.
At least that's how I looked at it.
Yeah. My brother and I had one funny,
but then the new Walker was probably just as bad. But
but you liked the actor.
But I liked it.
Yeah,
I actually liked. I don't think it was as terrible as the original
for sure.
But don't go in there thinking you're about to watch the next Breaking Bad or fucking Sopranos.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
I almost said Seinfeld. It's not Shakespeare.
No, it's not Shakespeare or Supernatural.
But man. Oh, I've been watching a lot of Sopranos kind of clips and stuff. I need to rewatch that show. And it's funny because I'm realizing how much time has passed. I mean, half the cast is dead now, which is super sad. And I'm thinking
what's super sad is knowing that we're that old now.
I know. It's
that show came out when I was leaving high school.
I know. 97, I think is when
I was in high school.
So yeah. I was in middle school.
Oh my Lord! Your parents let you watch that?
No,
rubbish.
They didn't until.
That's right. You said
HBO.
That. You did.
And I just watched it. 9th grade, I started watching it. We were in season 3, and I remember the opening. It was Mr. Ruggieri's Neighborhood is the name of the episode. It's the opening episode of season 3, and it's all about the FBI agents tracking Tony. So you really don't see a lot of it from Tony's perspective. You see like some scenes. But it's primarily the FBI trying to get in his house to bug his house.
Yeah.
And I was hooked because at that time I wanted to be an FBI agent when I grew up.
And he's like, nah, fuck that. I want to be a mobster.
And then I was like, this show's great. So from that moment on, I'm like, fuck that shit. Right? I would be the worst mobster. I would not be able to kill anybody. I couldn't steal from people. But boss, that sounds pretty mean. Is there anything else we can do to this guy?
I don't think I would be good at that. I think
I would love to play a mobster.
If I was to be good at anything, and I'm not saying this because I would do this.
I think I could break some balls, I
think I would be better at like breaking into somewhere and like stealing stuff in that sense.
Yeah, sure. Like,
no
like a
around.
bank vault, right?
Yeah,
Middle of the night, I'm stealing jewels.
Heist stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like sticking someone up. Like sticking someone up and like having to interact that way, I couldn't do that. For like shit.
Empty your wallet, huh?
Yeah.
Don't get wise.
Give me the combo.
You got the combo to the safe, huh?
Yeah. You're gonna.
Yeah.
What was the thing? You want to take a sleep with the fishes?
Oh yeah.
What was the one the low pre-orders said?
Well, I know
what was the one they said about something about the water?
There is something.
I know you got a hilarious. You liked what Michael.
It's hysterical. Every time they do that, it makes me laugh. He's like the master at it. So
I forgot what he said.
I know the sleeping with the fishes line comes from The Godfather.
Yeah.
Because he's got the wrapped fish and Luca Brasi's.
Was that not a thing before then?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it was, but it I think was iconicized. Would that be a word? In The Godfather, they unwrap it and they go, "What's that?" And he goes, "It's a message. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes."
Oh yeah, I remember that scene.
So,
I know.
God, I love that movie. Such a good movie. So anyway, I'm listening to a podcast by Sammy the Bull Gravano.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Called Our Thing. It's fascinating because he was a turncoat. He went away from the mob against John Gotti, which I wasn't in the life. Obviously, I was probably born around the time that he went to prison. But I know that John Gotti didn't really follow mafia rules as far as he was very flashy and he put things out in public. And so Sammy the Bull finally was like, fuck this. I'm going to go down for this guy. No.
Yeah.
So he turned coat, and now he's got his whole thing. I know Michael Francis has.
That's the one I remember seeing some stuff about him.
He's interesting because he was I think he was a Gambino captain. And now he talks about, I am so fascinated. I think it's because it's such a juxtaposition of who I am. I would never be able to do any of that, but I'm so fascinated by that life.
Well, it's so cool.
So, I mean, we were in, Blanc and I were in downtown Pasco last weekend. And I'm looking around like, God, you could just film a Sopranos scene here. Like, I mean, get a table, get a couple guys standing around.
Yeah, because it's a very small, like downtown,
1930s old storefront looking area. I'm like, and that shit's going on down there all the time with like the Mexican mob stuff.
Oh, the cartels
and stuff. Like that. All those stores are fronts, I'm sure, but I'm just like,
I bet you there's a few of them.
Oh, I guarantee you there's a few of them.
Yeah.
It's just so fascinating. I think, but I wouldn't want to be a real one. I just want to be like a TV, produce that kind of stuff. It's a fascinating genre.
Hell yeah.
So you brought up before, we took a lot of notes this morning.
We did.
You talked about dreams.
There's sometimes I wish we could just keep this room filming all the time.
I know.
Because some of the shit we talk about.
We could have just cut that right in. We already had it going. I know.
But yeah, I was talking about dreams because I had a dream. It was, I guess, this morning. I guess when it happened.
Yeah.
It was fucking weird. Just like any other dream, it just made no sense. Well, it made sense in my dream, but there was like some killer after me.
It always makes sense in the dream. It's like, when you wake up and go.
It was like a movie. It was like a horror movie style because this killer was like.
You want coffee?
There's this. Yeah, I'll take some. There was this killer, and he was like after me, but it wasn't me, and like I don't know. It was just so weird because then it's like I know it's happening, but I'm watching it.
It's like you're you, but you're not you.
Yeah.
Right. And then again, it does.
But the cool thing was he was like, it's not cool because he was.
What was amazing?
But he looked like a 70s not porn star, but he looked like a 70s fucking. Horror
He's
flick
the
dude.
Serial killer you want to see.
Yeah, he was like Texas Chainsaw looking.
When you hear about a bunch of missing people, you want to see this guy's picture flash across your screen.
He looks like
this guy
John
killed
Fetterman.
cats when he was a kid. We're gonna get into John Fetterman.
That's why I saw that. No, but it was just so weird because all of a sudden it's like he's like took everyone out. He was winning. That's how my dream ended. Like
that's what you said. He was like the real anti-hero. Like by the end, you're like rooting for the guy.
Yeah. He was doing his thing. Like, damn, this movie would have pissed people off because he would have won.
I always thought that'd be an interesting take
I've
on a
always
movie,
think that
if you took a movie about a serial killer and you built it in a way where the audience knows that he's insane and really sees it, but you see how like the whole thing's through his eyes.
How society fails him.
Like, I don't know. Not even that. Just like,
what if you find
take
yourself
the
sympathizing
way
for
that
him?
he looks at life and you make that the normal?
Yeah.
And you make everything else seem crazy in some way?
That'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that be wild?
That would be.
The whole time you're watching it, you're like, if they did it right, and I wouldn't be able to do it, but if the right director did it right, and they could make you, he's like the anti-hero. Like, you're wanting him to succeed, but the whole time you're like, this is not good. I guess they do that in shows like You or Dexter, but they're like their character. I mean, even with You, I don't know if you've watched You.
I watched the first season.
I think it's
that's the one
show.
with the basement. The person's in the basement.
Yes, he has like the book room downstairs. It's like glass, and I mean, even during that, it's funny because in his internal monologue where he's talking, I guess it's kind of like one-sided dialogue. He's talking to whoever you is, but you can like watch his mind go deeper and deeper into like, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to do this. Look what you made me do. I wasn't going to do anything. And it's funny, just like they kind of get that because his perspective is so screwed up. And you as the audience, you know what he's going to do next. He doesn't. He does, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
and he thinks he's a good guy. He's always spinning it where he had no other choice. It's funny.
They made me do it.
So maybe they already made that. Maybe I'm talking in circles.
I don't know. But the dream was weird, and like I woke up sweaty as fuck.
Yeah, because
like,
you were scared. He was going to kill you, but not you.
Yeah, he was going to kill me, but not me. But then one person he was after, it was like me and this other person. Like all of a sudden, they weren't after that person, right? Mm-hmm. But later, like towards the end of the dream, what was kind of trippy is like I'm watching something happening on like the CCTV type thing, right? Mm-hmm. And the monsters are like taking over zombies. It's almost like The Last of Us with the clickers and the zombies and that.
Yeah.
But I'm like watching on the CCTV, and this monster looks up, and the face, I started recognizing the face. It was the person that was with me in the beginning.
The monster was the person from the beginning.
Like one of the so the way it ended is like I knew the serial killer was winning because he had killed that person.
And now they're a zombie.
And now they're a zombie.
And now you have to kill the person.
And then I woke up sweaty.
Wow.
I hate waking up sweaty.
It's the worst.
It's because I'm like trying to sleep. Song. My knees weak, arms are heavy. Yeah, and I woke up really sweaty. Oh, yeah.
Right?
yeah.
And sweaty.
No, but
palms are sweaty.
There's been times I've woke up so sweaty that I'm like wiping myself.
Gross. Yeah, and then your pillow's all wet. You got to flip that over.
Dude, I had to use a towel one time, like to lay back on it, because I was just like that.
Right.
Then it's get cold.
Yeah,
because it's like you're wet. Oh, that's the worst.
It's
that's
hot until you move, and it's cold. It's the worst.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my dream. Man. All right, thank you guys.
I had a dream. It was a stress dream. I had a dream that I had a kid that I was working with that was writing, but his writing, like you couldn't really tell what he was saying, but you can kind of almost tell. Mm-hmm. In reality, I'm like, if the kid really wrote that, I'd be like, wow, you're really like getting somewhere. But in the dream, it wasn't good. And my principal comes in and she's like, what are you going to do? Like, you need to get him writing. Like, this isn't good. I'm like, oh. No. And I woke up feeling like crap. And then,
I'm a terrible teacher.
Stress dreams. Why? Winter's the worst for that for me. I always have stress dreams.
Stress dreams are bad. But then it could be shit you watch. Like, I wonder if that's what mine came from.
School stuff, though. I'm like, but I have seen some articles for some reason. So on my phone, I have a Samsung, and if you swipe it far enough left, you get like kind of like a news feed of whatever garbage is out there. Yeah. They just throw things in there. Well, I'm getting a lot of like education stuff, and it's stuff that makes me very angry. It's stuff about like how schools aren't good enough and blah blah blah, which I'm like, I work in schools, I know how hard everybody works. Lay off us. But anyway, that's my own opinion. But
yeah, I love hearing the point of view from someone who has no idea.
Well, no, that's the thing. Is like, I don't know. If you think schools aren't good, try it for a day. Is all I'm gonna say.
No, you know what? It's funny you bring that up because that's with like work or anything. When you got like a supervisor, or someone telling you like you should be doing this. Well, you know what? How about come to this side of the woods for a minute. Come to this side of the town and let me know what you know.
Right, well, let me know what you think. Yeah. I've seen Undercover Boss. Okay?
I know how this works. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, okay, I see your point of view.
I always get stressed at this time because, winter we get our data in, like any job with data. You get data, it looks bad. It's not bad probably, but it looks bad. Mm-hmm. And then you know that this next data point's coming. Yeah. And you really are putting pressure on yourself to get that to a certain point. And so that's where the stress comes in, because it's like that anxiety that we're not going to get there.
Well, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't.
Well, at the end of the day, I keep reminding myself, I mean,
you can only
do what you can do.
Exactly.
So anyway,
you're either going to do it or you're not.
Things are going well.
So I went golfing yesterday.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was good. It was windy and kind of cold.
I'll bet.
Yeah. I drove a ball, though, almost 300 yards.
Dang.
It was like 280 something.
Yeah.
But the wind kind of helped.
Well, that's nice. Though.
But it was a straight.
Nice. You're a pretty good driver.
It worked. I hit it pretty straight. But No, Efren was telling me about some guy he went golfing with recently that I guess he's like got a no handicap because he's so good.
Wow.
Right. But he was telling him, you're either going to do it or you're not. Like, that's kind of like with
his
golf.
Attitude, his mental attitude.
Because Efren says he takes like 2 seconds and he'll get up there and he'll hit the ball.
Yeah.
Like he'll take a couple weird swings and he'll get up and Efren's like, geez. And the guy's like, yeah, well, I mean, you're either going to hit it or you're not.
That's true.
You know, like, just so it's like, that's something in life you can take. Like, you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it, you know?
So people with talent get to say stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you know, I would approach golf that way.
Right.
Because I'm either going to make a good shot or I'm not. So, like, in life, you're either going to, you know, do what you can to make things happen, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's like there's a certain point where I think things are out of your hands.
You're absolutely correct.
You know what I mean?
It's the chip, the idea of what AA, right?
Mm-hmm.
God grant me the strength to change what I can, to accept the things I can't, and to know the difference between the two, right?
Yeah, I need to get my AA chip. I'm almost 2 months sober.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were just talking.
Yeah,
I need to get my gold chip.
Yeah,
I'm not in AA or anything. I'm not in AA.
Mailed it to you.
No, not 2 months. The 24th will be 2 months.
Well, there you go.
Maybe the 25th. I don't know if I drink Christmas morning. So,
you might have, but I think that counts as one continuation, right?
Yeah, maybe. So I don't know. Either way,
you didn't drink a lot Christmas morning. I know that because I was there.
Well, no, I think I woke up and might have drank.
Oh, technically the time,
because I had passed out when I woke up.
Yeah.
To wrap presents, and then I passed out. So I don't know if I was just so drunk from the night before that I woke up and then just passed out. I don't know.
Well, I know you well.
All I know is I shit the sticks bad, and I'm not drinking.
You well, and my guess is this is what happened, because when you left our house, you were not. I wasn't any signs of you know, you had a couple drinks, which is fine. We had
I think I drank more when I got. I know I drank more when I got home.
So I think when you got home, you just had a nightcap, and that nightcap must have put you over the edge. And then
by nightcap,
and
it was a bottle.
I don't think that's true, because I don't think you would have done that way. I think you had just enough that put you over that edge. So when you did wake up, you were buzzing enough that's when you went and probably did it. So I'm thinking that you're right with that, because I know you, when you're like not to that level, you don't drink like that.
Yeah. That's
so. And you're a good dad. You're a good man.
Well, yeah.
You wouldn't do that on purpose.
No, and that's the thing. My kids and
screw up Christmas.
My kids and wife know that you know. Yeah. And I didn't screw up Christmas. I just didn't. I wasn't there to see the kids open Christmas presents. So, and that's a shitty feeling.
How did I screw up Christmas? I wasn't there.
Yeah,
love that idea. We were watching. So my brother-in-law. We had a scenario just like that. So if you've ever watched the first Lego movie, there's a hysterical scene where the bad guy is like the dad of the main character.
Yeah.
And he's like, how did I screw up your life? I wasn't even there, which is the whole point the kid is making.
Yeah.
Orlando, my brother-in-law, said that one time because he has a son in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it's not really his fault. He can't be in part of his kid's life. It's a sad scenario.
It's a sad story.
But at this point, I as a guy that's like, you're there for your kid, I'm even like, you need to not deal with this kid. But he was worried because he's got a business up and running right now, and they tried to kind of hustle him, and he was worried about it, and he made that comment like, this kid's saying I screwed up his life, I wasn't even there. And we were like, dude, you need to watch the Lego movie. This is
how can I screw your life up?
So Block actually found the little meme or whatever for it and sent it to him. We were like,
did he laugh? I'm sure.
This is too perfect. Anyway,
Lego movie's fucking great.
Oh, it's so funny. So funny.
But yeah. So you were watching Evil Lives Here, I see?
I was watching Evil Lives Here, and something about your dream made me think of that show, because it's very much like the way that show is. And what I love about that show is the recreations.
Oh, yeah.
The reenactments, I guess they call them. It's the same house all season long. So every murderer that was in this show all did it apparently in the same exact house that looks very much like a 2000s house.
Like this was in 73.
None of the setting details match the time, right? The time frame. It's all like this gal's talking about 30 years ago, and you look, and it's like everything looks like brand new today.
Well, because she's just sitting in the middle.
In the living room. I mean, the gal's talking in like a modern house, right? But then they go to the cutscene back to the past. Or there was one time this guy was supposed to have punched a wall, and you can see like these perfect circles where they just like took something and went pop, 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 kind of in the shape of a fist. And then the guy's hand comes back, and they show the wall, and the bad actors are like, their faces look crazy. I don't know.
See, I would love to be in a
good show.
Like I told Lisa, I think it'd be cool, at least before I die, to be like either an extra in a movie.
Yeah.
Either be in a commercial or be in one of those shows.
Yeah.
Like Evil Lives Here, something I don't need to be a good actor.
I want to be the bad guy. I want to like slightly cross my eyes and breathe deep.
Apparently, I seen this guy, and he says people with beards aren't trustworthy. And you know, like that's why businessmen don't have beards, and that's why like he was going off about how beards are pretty much evil. And
well, he must have a very well-defined show.
So apparently I'll be an evil guy. So that's why
I can't help
but it. But no, the comments were like, well, that's what someone would say who can't grow facial hair.
Exactly. You would say that. I don't have a choice. My chin is very British. I think I've talked about this before. Without a beard, there's not a lot of definition.
Yeah.
So I shave it, and I don't like.
Without a beard, I got the fattest face. I got a chunky face.
Now.
I have an ugly face without a beard, though.
I'm a hideous man without a beard.
My kids, yeah. I shaved my beard. My son cried.
Being clean shaven myself, but
I look like I should have registered on some kind of site because I didn't look
There's a red dot on my house. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
When I shave.
Like, he looks like he would be. No, I just don't look right without a beard or facial hair. Yeah. But also, I've had a goatee before the beard since high school.
Oh, sure. I did.
And then I just left it that way from high school on. Like, yeah. So anybody, even from high school, probably wouldn't. I mean, I don't know if they recognize me now, but I don't think I've changed much since then. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm older.
Right. I know. I look at.
I still look young.
We're just young
and dumb. But Evil Lives Here, that's a great show.
It's fun. I love
all those shows on the fucking Oxygen.
Anything about murders and stuff is always.
Me and Elise used to fall asleep to that stuff.
Yep, it lulls me to sleep. That's what I watch. We watch like Schitt's Creek or something early, and then when it's time for bed, go brush the teeth, lay down, and turn on Evil Lives Here.
Dude, it's great. I turn on Supernatural. Yeah. That's probably one reason I might have had the dream I had.
Could be supernaturally stuff.
Yeah. I wake up,
man. But there are some of these stories. It's like, yeah, if you can get past like the reenactments, which I love the way they do them because again, it's funny to watch. But there really are some crazy stories. I mean, what these things people have done, you're like, holy crap! I've never even heard of this guy, and he's like prolific.
So this is the one thing I don't know if it's being a parent now or what, but I'll hear these stories, and I just think, from the parent's perspective, how does that feel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
These women that are in like these horrible abusive relationships.
Yeah, the women are in abusive relationships are their God forbid their son or daughter becomes this like serial killer, like
God forbid.
Like how does that feel as a parent? Like you gotta like when my kid fucks up or does something, not that my kids
like
fuck
a reflection
up,
on you feel a lot of pressure, right?
But I feel like if something happens to like I feel like guilty. Yeah, like I did something wrong. Right. Like, you know, my daughter doesn't talk a lot, right? She's very quiet. So I think in my head, there's been moments in my life where I'm like, oh, probably because I snapped on this and I yelled about something. And so now, you know, you start going in these rabbit holes.
Yeah, right.
Where did I mess up for you to be that way when, you know, in reality,
how would you not feel like that if your kid had like decapitated 8 people?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And
like
had sex with the body. Like, wouldn't you be like, where did I go wrong? Was it the time we took you to Disneyland? Like,
there's all this stuff where it's just like, I start thinking about that. And that was recently too, where I was just thinking like, God, I don't know where I heard a story or something, but it just made me think about that. Like as a parent, like, Jesus, that's gotta be tough.
Well, and the other weird thing is, so like the one I watched last night, this guy was a kid and his stepdad was mental.
Yeah.
And he was talking about going hunting with his stepdad. And instead of his dad, if they had he would trap. Instead of quickly killing the animal, he would essentially like beat them to death, right? So it was very dark, but I'm thinking like there's something in people. Like you're either good or you're not good.
Yeah.
Like there's some brain development. It's not just the way you grow up, and it's not just your brain. It's like this circumstance of like having a really screwed up brain and having catalysts in your life, I guess, that makes you into this thing, because
it's crazy. It's crazy. Like it's just something that I don't think we'll never really fully understand.
I think to be that works. Level, it's got to be a lot of just your physical brain.
Yeah, right. It's got to be just how how some people are born without a finger,
right?
Or
well,
something.
Isn't it your frontal lobe that controls like impulse control, and you have like the amygdala that's your.
I'm saying
aggression.
like I know, I'm a brain surgeon. I fucking know.
Yes, that's correct.
It's actually your medulla.
Yeah, it's the medulla oblongata. You remember that?
Something's wrong with your medulla oblongata. No, Colonel Sanders.
But my mama said
when he called him Colonel Sanders, I fucking lost it. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's
you're
right.
Wrong. Mama's right. It's because he don't brush his teeth at night.
Yeah. But no, there's. Man. So I wonder if there's like a development issue in that sense. Where
I think there has to be.
Maybe
frontal
something
lobe
doesn't
damage or something. Because with Jeffrey Dahmer, wasn't it that the parents said like, didn't something happen to him when he was a kid? Was it him that he had a surgery or something? He was never the same after that.
I don't know if it was.
There's something. Maybe it was somebody. And but I know like Ted Bundy, they say didn't really have a horrible. Like there wasn't. You couldn't look at his life and be like, oh, this is why he killed people. Like he saw horrible things happen. He just is screwed up. Like
some people are just lack like empathy or
no empathy.
They're soulless,
socially awkward.
So I watched Supernatural. So there's a season where Sam's missing his soul, and basically he doesn't have empathy. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't really care. Right. For him, it doesn't. It's like whatever.
He knows better.
He knows it's probably not right, but at the same time, he doesn't really care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just doing it because I need to get the job done.
Right.
Right. And so that's what I wonder about. Like,
but then like,
serial killer, it's just, I know they're, what do they call them? What's the fucking term when you're mental?
They're like asocial. They're,
I can't think of it.
Psychopathic?
Yeah, they're psychopathic. But what's someone who's like
antisocial?
Not antisocial, but someone who's God, the term it'll come to me.
Sure.
It's the stupid once you hear it, you're like, oh.
Oh,
duh. Right?
Assholes?
No, it's like someone who someone basically like that where they know it's wrong, but at the same time, they don't have any feeling towards it.
Right. But they're also like almost sexually motivated to do it. Like there's a physical
like it feels good to them or something. Yeah.
Right. Like when you've heard these people describe it, they feel that they have to do it like a compulsion.
Yeah.
They can't relax until they've done it again. I don't know. What a life.
Yeah. I don't know. Fuck, that term's going to bug me now.
Yeah.
When someone's that way.
I'll have to Google it.
Like they're... Fuck. That's gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I gotcha. R. Kelly. Let's talk about
R. Kelly.
So speaking of an asshole that has no empathy for anyone else,
yeah.
R. Kelly was already given 30 years in New York, and it looks like they're looking to give him 25 for more crap that happened in Chicago. So if he wasn't gonna, die in prison before, most likely, and it looks like they want to tack that on to the end of his sentence. Sometimes they can do it.
So that's 50 years.
That's 55 years altogether, yeah. If I'm correct, 30 and 25 or 55.
He'll die in there. So, like he's already gonna die in there. Yeah. I don't know if he'll reach.
Because he's over 50, right? He's like 56.
That's what I'm gonna look up right now.
He's in his 50s, I do believe. He's fairly.
I shouldn't
old.
even Google this on my phone.
You have your burner phone?
Oh, dude, he's almost 60.
Yeah. So,
56?
And he's got, that's what I thought. And he's got 30 years guaranteed. And they want to tack 25 to the end of that. So that's 55 extra years.
I mean, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Unless he turns into one of those like 120-year-olds.
What makes me so mad too? That he's like that too? Because like some of his music was so good.
And is it Dave Chappelle that says something about that? Like you feel bad listening to it, but
Someone said it, but it's like, like I don't listen to him anymore. But like I also don't listen. I mean, I love listening to that kind of music when I was growing up, and R. Kelly. There's a song by him that I really liked from a movie, and it sucks because it's like now like is he talking like because he's like a fucking little like predator?
What's he thinking? And that
Yeah. So that's where it kind of ruins it for me.
Well, the thing I find sad,
dude, I stole an R. Kelly tape when I was younger. Statute of limitations is up on that. Yeah. You could have been. They can't extradite me anyway. It was another state. You'll never know what state. Wait, no, it was this state.
I was going to say, what if that state changed their statute of limitations law? Like, oh, we can come after you.
But no, it was like a CD or a tape that I had jacked, but it was R. Kelly. And I I'd fucking listen to the fuck
I enjoy to think of it as a tape.
I think it was a tape.
Yeah, probably. I had a lot of tapes.
It was when I moved here to Washington.
My first
I was living in North Bend.
On tapes.
So it was in North Bend.
Okay.
So come after me, motherfucker.
Yeah. North Bend strip mall.
Dude, that term's still really bugging me in my head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google that as soon as this podcast's over.
All right.
Yeah.
Google it now.
Who's someone that's not antisocial? It's a term.
I'll bet you're right.
Like a not a narcolepsy, not narcolepsy.
They're a narcotic.
No, like what's those terms for someone who's like a narcissist? But there's another term.
Yeah, narcissistic, like borderline personality disorder.
Yeah, there's something like that.
Well, there is narcissist, and a sadist or
no, I don't know.
Anyway, we can go around in circles all day. So we were talking a little bit too before the show to flip the script here a little bit. So those of you that followed this story, Dr. Oz ran for Senate in like Pennsylvania, I think. And he went up against this guy, John Fetterman, which ended up, I think it went out to like a second count of votes or something. It went really far.
How long ago was that?
That was just at the midterms. So a couple months ago, I think November elections.
Okay.
So John Fetterman took it. He's the senator. Well, he just checked himself in for depression. And I thought, that's something worth bringing up. We talk about men's mental health, people's mental health.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time I can think of seeing someone who's a senator that just openly says, I went to get help because I'm depressed.
I think that's good.
And I think that's very good.
I think that says a lot about where mental health's at.
Yeah.
To be
and
that
John
open
Fetterman's
now.
been this kind of like loudmouth, open talker kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that he campaigned in a hoodie.
Where is he from? Pennsylvania?
I think Pennsylvania is where they're from. And yeah, he just like, he's in his first few months and he's like, dude, I'm going to get help.
So Tom was kind of like writing this down before we got here about the, Fetterman and stuff. And I didn't know who he was. Like I said, I'm not really into politics like that. And so when I Googled and looked him up, he's kind of
he's a big guy.
He's a big dude. I had Google his height. He's 6'8". Yeah. He looked like a biker. Like he'll fuck you up.
He's tall. He's got a goatee.
Dr. Oz better watch out.
Dr. Oz. I mean, you're fighting with a scrapper. Yeah.
Is Dr. Oz from New York?
Dr. Oz. I think he is from New York.
I don't know, man. Dr. Oz better. Fetterman better watch out. He's going to prescribe. Dr. Oz is going to prescribe him something.
He's going to tell you. He's going to tell you the one thing to eat every morning to cure your depression.
Yeah. Green tea extract or whatever it was.
I know. I got really tired of the TV doctors. I was so glad that he lost just because I don't know. It irks me the way that TV is taken. It's just I don't know. I can't even put my finger.
Dr. Oz anytime I see an ad, it's like Dr. Oz. He backs this formula that makes you just shrink fat instantly.
Well, I just feel like he's willing to back anything that's going to probably make some money. None of it felt authentic, and I felt like all these people were just at home, like eating it up. And it's like the Dr. Phil thing, which I was happy to read. Dr. Phil got canceled after years because it's just trash TV. Dr. Phil was...
so he didn't get canceled by culture, like the cancel culture, but he got
because
canceled
he wasn't
because
getting...
his TV sucked.
They were losing ads. Like people weren't wanting to buy ad space with them from what I read.
Sorry, Dr. Phil.
And the thing with Dr. Phil, though, is like, you screw with us, Dr. Phil. I mean, The thing is, when I remember being like a high school kid and thinking like he was smart because was on TV and he was a psychiatrist.
Yeah, I was shocked when I found out he had a fake
He wasn't a psychiatrist. He didn't have his credentials for it. He was a therapist or whatever, but he wasn't like, I don't even think he was a doctor.
Yeah.
At all. Maybe he was. I don't know. But he wasn't like the credentialed the way that he pretended he was. And then beyond that, it just turned into garbage TV. Like in the beginning, he was like trying to help people, but then it's like he brings in like Catch Me Outside Girl, and it's like Jerry Springer.
That's what it is.
Pretending to be smart.
Yeah,
and that really irritated me.
Well, I noticed that with like a lot of these talk shows.
Yeah,
back then. Well, aside from Jerry Springer, which was trash,
but at least he was like honest about it.
But like all of them became that way, like Maury and
you are the father.
Yeah. There was like Ricky Lake, Kershaw's.
Yeah. It's all like putting people on blast.
Yeah, it was all those shows were all about the same.
And it's just garbage. It's just
and that's how I looked at Dr. Phil.
Yeah, exactly. Because
it's the same thing.
He just wanted the shock, the way that they would cut things. Like they're talking about this guy's like beating people, and then it goes to like gray and like just cheesy stuff. And then Dr. Phil pretends like he's there to help. He's just there to belittle people on live TV to look tough, and then just send them on their way.
He exploits them.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
For money.
But anyway, now,
to be honest, I mean,
that's exactly it. Yeah, he's got a racket.
I would never do that.
I wouldn't do that.
Would I?
By the way, next week we're bringing somebody on.
Dr. Phil. He's coming on the show.
I'd talk to the guy and like
I would bring him on the show. Actually,
my question is just like, were you authentic? Did you really think that this is helping? Because it feels very disingenuous.
I don't think that the question to that answer, like the question to that answer. I don't think that the answer to that question will probably ever really come out. Like
no. Yeah. I think I wouldn't be shocked for him to be.
I think in the beginning he did because I think he started with Oprah.
Oprah loved him. Yeah.
Well, that's how he started.
But it was because she would bring him out. It's his no nonsense way, and it was like it thinks that that's like so fresh to just be abrupt.
Yeah,
but it's not. Like in the long run, it can be. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Well, all you can do is throw out some weird Southern term.
I think at one point Dr. Phil was probably genuine in the stuff he said, like especially when he was like coming in for Oprah.
He's a narcissist. I mean, everything was about him. The way his wife sat and watched him, the way that he walked to her and took her hand and then she like trotted out behind him, like everything about the whole makeup of the show was all him. I mean, it was called Dr. Phil. Like
true.
I just
not Dr. Phil and Friends.
No, or anything. Not like Robin's in the audience. It's like everything. There's one episode, I think I've talked about it before, where he talks about how big and tough he was when Robin and him were walking out from dinner one night, and he could tell this guy was shady.
Oh yeah, the one
he's car. Like, you stay back or whatever, and she's nodding in the audience like he did that, and I'm like, this is so stupid. It's just so dumb.
It just makes me mad because I'm pretty sure that guy was just trying to get an autograph.
The guy was like probably just homeless, and Dr. Phil was like, "Fuck you,
I got no money. I'm poor."
And that's the other thing. The guy has the audacity to tell people how to lose weight, be in shape, how hard it is. Dr. Phil's eating his share of cheeseburgers. I'm telling you, the guy was not like he wore suits the way Trump did to hide the fat.
No, Dr. Phil doesn't look like
he doesn't
fit guy
look
to
like
me.
He works out. I mean, and he's here writing books about diet. I'm like, dude, it'd be like me going and trying to as we talked, to commentate sports.
Dude, I can't
stay in your lane.
Dr. Phil, he doesn't.
But tons of books and things about like how to stay in shape, be healthy. I'm like, dude,
you can do it.
Yeah,
I can do it.
If I can do it, so can you. You didn't do it, Dr. Phil. You're fat. I'm sorry to tell you this.
Right, you're just a fat piece of
You're just like me. You're a piece of garbage. You never amount to nothing. No, I mean, good for him. He has a life. I
think really like not just his show, but just those shows in general. I think that's just gonna go away.
The Doctors. You ever try to watch The Doctors?
Nah, I don't watch TV like that.
So I love my aunt, love her. So I'm not saying it about her, but she would watch.
Tucker Oz was on that.
Yeah.
Right?
No, he went. No, he had his show, and then the Doctors is on around that.
Doctors was the younger doctor guy.
There's the old doctor who's like the plastic surgeon. There's the young doctor. There's like 2 lady doctors.
Yeah.
And the lady doctors, it was all.
And they all wear their scrubs.
And it was all
like they're going to go do surgery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The old guy wore his white jacket all the time. And they're just pompous. And it was all about how stupid men were. The ladies got on their high horse about how shitty men were. And it was like, that was the part of the whole audience claps. And then the young doctor guy who's attractive, so all the women are watching it for him. Yeah. He says some bullshit, stupid, like totally middle of the road thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say to side with it.
It's so scripted and stupid. I'm losing brain cells as this crap is bombarding my mind.
I never watched
all that stuff,
but I've never really cared for those shows.
No, I haven't either.
There's too much drama around that.
I admit that when I was like a junior in high school, I thought I wanted to be a therapist too at one time. So I'm like, Dr. Phil, like, oh, he's a smart guy. And then you realize, like, at some point in your youth, these people they're not smart.
Yeah.
Like, you put them on the pedestal because they're on TV. Like,
I mean, there's nothing wrong wanting to be a therapist or anything.
No. But
looking up Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, like, he was like, this is how you do it. No, not really. You don't be
You say what you want, and you get what you need.
I make weird comments on the side people seem to love. I don't know. And then, like we always say, like, this guy needs help right now. But after the commercial break, I'm going to tell him.
We need to pay the bills.
The whole thing
after the commercial break.
They're all need to be rich, so. And he did the same stupid thing. Like I remember he went grocery shopping once, and he was like looking for a simple green, and he thought he was in the veggie section because his wife always does the shopping. And they show a clip of ladies laughing and having to point him in the right direction because he's just so busy all the time. He doesn't do this kind of mundane thing.
God, I hate.
It was so annoying. I'm like, so you don't take care of anything, so you're just oblivious to it. And
you're an idiot, so you're just a big idiot.
And so like the whole audience is ha ha ha.
Dude,
I don't know.
It just reminds me of the commercials where the guy's a big idiot.
Yeah, right.
I fucking hate those commercials.
We know how to do laundry, okay?
No, I hate.
We know how to put dishes in a dishwasher.
I cannot stand for the life of me. Even when I was younger, I hated those fucking commercials.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, I know how to fucking clean. I was just clean before I came here. I cleaned the kitchen.
Right. Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. That's a whole nother fucking podcast. That shit pissed me off.
No, they do. They act like we're so stupid. We destroy the house.
Always, even like I would see those things like commercials like in high school and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, God, who's that stupid?
They make every husband look like the person on an infomercial trying to do something that's like overly complicated that you can't do.
Do you have trouble sweeping your floor with a mop?
And the lady's like hitting the floor with the mop like this.
Yeah, she's trying to sweep dirt with a mop into a dustpan. You're like, where the fuck's the broom? Why don't you use a broom? Who's that dumb?
Here is the simple sweeper. And then they just are just doing nothing. Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
They're all sweaty and disheveled in the first one because they're too stupid. They're using the wrong side of the broom. Do you get confused which part of the broom goes to the floor?
Yeah. Do you not know directions that well?
Easy Mark broom system. Oh, this side up.
It's laser pointed. You want to sweep in a straight line?
The laser guides tell you where the broom head will go.
I'm surprised they haven't made one that...
Insert dust here.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, they have the broom now that fucking sucks up.
Well, that's kind of a good idea.
That's cool. But like how...
Brooms are the worst, but...
I mean, how lazy.
Like how lazy and stupid. I know, and it's always some like garbagey plastic thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow, we're just like in a bitch fest today.
Just right now. Well, when I think about commercials really piss me off.
Well, yeah.
I have a thing with commercials. I was just talking about this when I went golfing about the McCurley commercials.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
And it sucks because my buddy Nick and Efren didn't get it because they don't know what commercials I'm referring to. It's like family. I was like, dude, the girl's talking about babies and shit, and then all of a sudden here comes McCurley like, family means love, and at McCurley we're gonna love to rape you and take $700 a month from you for your car.
I don't understand.
You know what I mean? Like, get out of here.
They're a car.
I bought my car at McCurley at one time.
Company, right? Like
local-ish.
The dealer. They're very local. I think they're like they're not like a franchise. It's
there's
just
like some in
Bill
Hermiston,
McCurley. Yeah, but I think the primary is out of Pasco, right?
Probably.
So they did like the normal car, bam, hey, this Sunday, come on down to the Big McCurley Show. Like that kind of stuff, right? Like that's what you expect out of a stupid car dealership commercial. Tell me what it's Oktoberfest, and we're gonna make all this money on the car dealership.
Bill and Robinson's Nissan.
Come on, like that's what a car commercial should be. Like bam, 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 cars, money, cheap. Like that's what you expect. Not
Track Center Pasco.
But all of a sudden, around the holidays, they decided, like, you know what would really sell? You know, people are so sad, and they want to feel connected. So let's take the word community, and let's just use the slowest reader in all of human history.
No.
This guy talks so damn slow.
He sounds like
community. That's home.
No, it sounds like he's reading the script. He sounds like how I would, going full circle, if me and Tom were to read scripts, I would read like that guy.
You know what I think?
Community.
Yeah.
It's where home, is, period.
Well, no, they literally, like, that's what makes home.
Pause. 1,
home.
2, 3. And I love oh my God.
There's just moments where I'm like, that's what makes home. Like, you couldn't think of anything better than that? Home. Home is home. Home equal home. That makes home.
Home good.
I just like, home good. Overpay car bad.
I know.
McCurley, good deal on car.
I know. And it's funny. I was like, then my buddy Nick was talking about he doesn't really care. You know, he doesn't really care for that.
Sure.
And then I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, me and my wife went to McCurley, bought our car there, and the salesman was trash, man. He sucked. And Efren, because Efren was the salesman. So I'm saying that loud enough. And then Efren's like, yeah, man, I can't stand that guy.
No, we've bought from them. I'm not saying anything against the company. No. I mean, definitely
they were actually very nice for us and stuff.
They're great. I mean, you're buying a car. Like, you're not.
Don't come at me with this community shit about being about family when in general you're raping the people.
I'm just curious what the catalyst was for needing to change the format of the ads. That's all I'm wondering. What sparked this? Like, we need a reset, people.
Oh, that's
people
what it was.
Aren't buying cars all of a sudden.
They got a new PR person.
And they're like, we need to go somber.
You know what? I did this in New York. It sells. Yeah. We're going to do it
We're going to take local kids who can't act and make them act like they're crying so the mom can drive them home. It's
home.
It's all like local people can't act.
The guy who talks in those commercials reminds me of a skit I hear on Bob and Tom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, when I hear
the guy that does all the systems, the something system.
Yes.
And he changes his name all the time.
Yeah, it's John Johnson Memory System.
Hi, I'm Bill Jackson. And with my John Johnson Memory System. I love that. That's so funny.
So that's how that guy sounds to me.
He's slow. He's slow as molasses.
Yeah, it's like, dude, speak up. Can we speed up his talk? Yeah,
speed it up. I want to go to sleep. I don't know. And then, they show the one where the mom's, like, the dad's driving the kid all over town, and then the mom wakes up all groggy. Like, why is she even out of bed? It's the middle of this. It doesn't even make sense.
That's why I almost lost my coffee right now.
Makes sense. I'm like, why is she waking up to open the damn door? She obviously she's asleep. I know. I'm sorry, lady. You're a great actress. I'm sure that you have a future.
You're a terrible actress.
It's the directors. Like, let's face it. It's a local dealership. Stop trying to make it.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
I want to see Oktoberfest and some lady blasting out about cars. And come buy it because we're going to throw some money at a charity. Or something. Yeah. You want to make it better.
I just picture like an 80s ad was probably like that.
Oh, yeah.
Come down for babes in bikinis.
Yeah, right. Zooming in slowly on the gal is like the waterfall just going on in the background.
Used car dealership.
Oh, Lord. Well, yeah, we had that coffee shop around here for a while that was like the baristas were. I never went there. It felt so awkward.
Before we get out of here, there's going to be two things. I'm going to tell this story, which I might have told before, but I was literally just telling this story to Johnny because we stopped at a coffee joint. I was with the kids.
A coffee joint, eh?
Yeah. I was with my wife. With the kids, my wife wanted like a white chocolate mocha, or a white like a frappuccino or something, cappuccino. I don't know.
Some
we wanted something.
Drink, yeah.
She's like, hey, we're in Yakima. She's like, hey, let's get some coffee. I want to get me a white chocolate mocha. I'm like, all right. I pull up. And I'm like, so what do you want? She was like, it was like a macchiato. That's what it was. And I was like,
those are good. Yeah,
caramel macchiato. And she's like, yeah, I want that. I'm like, oh, okay. Just making sure. Look, no, kids, you guys don't get nothing when we go to coffee shop. You guys don't get no coffee. Yeah. So I'm like, all right. And then as I turn, this girl greets me right there at the window. She's in nothing. She's in lingerie, titties out, like literal lingerie that you would wear when you're having a little sexy time with your lady, Like, I wouldn't wear it, but
bare-breasted baristas, I think was the name of this place, right?
Well, I was in shock because I'm like with the kids and stuff, and I don't.
Your foot started tapping.
Yeah, like a cartoon. But I'm like in shock because I don't care for those places. I feel like it's creepy.
It's trashy. It's real trashy, I think.
So the girls are smart in the fact that how they do it, right?
Sure.
They know they're going to get creep guys, but don't complain. I'm not saying that they do complain, but I'm sure they get creepy guys that come.
Well, yeah. I mean but you're also showing that so people will look. Yeah, you're not going to get the right kind of guy through there who's a classy gent that's going to.
Well, I like try to avoid like coffee places like that because it's just I don't know.
It's trash. I don't like.
I just want fucking coffee. I don't need to see titties. You know what I'm saying?
If I want some titties, I'll pull up the porn site while I get my coffee.
There you go.
Yeah,
but like
I know.
Anyway, this happens, and I'm like. Now I'm just like, well, I'm not going to look, so I'm just looking out the window.
Even more awkward.
Yeah, I'm just looking out the window, and I look over at Alicia, look out the window.
God, the weather's beautiful.
Never once did I look this way.
What are you supposed to do?
Because, like,
it's not designed for your wife to be in the sun.
And she's, like, in this, like, booty short. Like, I'm just like, Lord Jesus, like, she's attractive, obviously.
Sure.
But Alicia notices me, like.
Trying to avoid it.
She's like, why are you making it so weird? I'm like, well.
Why is she making it so weird?
I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like, I didn't know we were.
You should have been classy. You should have grabbed from the back seat like a what do you call it? One of the cover up things.
And gave it
bathrobe. And throw it. Here you go.
Like a shawl or something.
Cover yourself up.
Yeah. But I was just like, it was just so awkward. And I was telling Johnny the story. He's like laughing because he's like, God, that would be so funny to see you. I'm like, dude, I was like,
it's
telling
awkward.
Straight.
What was the name of the place? Do you know?
No, I don't. I'm telling you, I don't know. It was
there used to be one down on Kennewick Avenue. I think
this one was in Yakima, and just before getting on the highway, we stopped because it was right before the highway. So we stopped in there, got the coffee. It's probably not even there anymore, but
right.
Yeah, I was just like, I looked at Alicia. I was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't know it was going to be one of these places. Like, that's creepy to me.
Bare-breasted baristas. How was I to know?
How is that not a barista place, though, now that I think about it?
Yeah.
That should be a name of a coffee joint.
Bare-breasted baristas.
Yeah.
They just don't wear anything.
But no, they still wear, they're fully clothed.
But it's all men. It's all men.
I told Johnny that.
You pull it and it's all men.
I told Johnny, you know what? I should open one where it's just guys in
like overweight
like
guys. Overweight guys like that actually have man boobs. That would be the best.
Yeah, like Chippendales. That's what they would dress.
Super overweight, bearded guys, because clearly they're the only assholes who would do it. Like they're trash.
Yeah, right? we're trashy guys.
Psychopaths.
Anyway. No, I was telling Johnny, they would just wear the Chippendale bow tie.
Sure.
That's it.
Little cufflinks, just the cufflink, not the shirt.
Patrick Swayze, Chris Farley would be like the front.
That'd be great. A flash dance.
You remember they did that on the Saturday Night Live?
His leg up, but it's just like the black.
Did you ever see that one?
I think so. Yeah.
Chippendale Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Oh God, Chris Farley's physical comedy was out of this world. I remember being in middle school and I had to go to this after school program because apparently I sucked at school at that time. Yeah. So I remember being in the library and we had these like tall windows. The school's gone now. They tore it down, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm in the library, supposed to be doing homework, and I just had this image of Chris Farley doing a scene from like the ninja movie that he did.
Oh yeah. Beverly Hills
Ninja, but like another one. The idea of him falling off the roof by like a ninja rope, going like upside down and hitting against the window. So you're looking at his backside, and all of a sudden it's like he farts, and it steams out the window and then retracts back in. And it's just him like flailing there. And I laughed so hard, didn't pay any attention to my homework the whole time. And he had just died. And I was like, we'll never get to see that scene because it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like he's gone.
Yeah, that was crazy. On that note,
anyway, you had a really good question.
Yeah, so we're going to try to do something. We're going to try to do a question of the week.
Yeah, a little formatting here for our show. So it's not just rambling all week and getting off track on how
which
much
we totally got off track on the rails there.
We brought up Dr. Phil. That brings up a lot of emotions.
We have so much pent-up resentment for him.
He's so successful. We're just very jealous. But anyway, so question of the week. You had a question.
Yeah, it was how do you get your kids to feel comfortable talking to you?
Yeah, which I thought was a great question.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it because I have, my daughter, our daughter, she's a very quiet kid. And so she doesn't really talk to us.
She's like an internal thinker. You can always tell that there's a lot going on behind those eyes.
I'm always asking. She's actually become I think she's getting a lot more comfortable in her own skin.
Yeah.
And so she's actually a little more active. Like, she's a lot more talkative now. Like, I think she's right. But it just made me think, like, as a kid myself, I never told my mom shit. Like, I kept everything in there. So, like, as a parent, how do you help your kids not kind of do that? Because as a kid, you want to tell your parents things,
right?
Or you need to bring something up, but you're afraid to. So it's
it's a very hard thing. I had very supportive parents, very loving parents, and I felt horrified to ever let them know if anything felt wrong or anything.
That's what I mean. Like, we're pretty open in our house.
Right.
My wife's very open with the kids. I'm really open. I come across maybe the asshole sometimes because I'm a very quiet guy.
Yeah.
At home, I'm quiet normally. Like, so that's the only reason I say that. But do the kids feel comfortable coming to us? Because they'll just all of a sudden like, I haven't been feeling like that. It's usually when I'm like fishing for stuff, or I'm asking, how are you doing? Well, because I do, as a quiet person, I still ask questions.
Yeah.
I'll still, when the kids upstairs, how was school? How was your day? Everything good? So I don't know if that's how you make it. I don't know. That's just my open-ended question. How do you?
Yeah, I mean that's
get your kids to feel comfortable.
I don't know if there's one answer. I mean, some kids I don't.
What do you guys do?
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you've got ideas, what do you do?
Yeah,
I know Elena and I have had a few conversations. Some I wasn't even ready for. She just brought some up, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess when she's ready, she'll say it.
But I think that's the thing is like, you got to be open to it. You got to be comfortable, even if you're not comfortable as a parent, to make them know it's okay.
Yeah,
talk to me about it. And also knowing, like, I know I wasn't a perfect human being. I made my share of mistakes, or not even mistakes, just things happen in your life. And when you're a kid, you don't understand it. You don't know how to deal with it. As an adult, you have that to look at and be like, that was, you're a kid. Nothing's as bad as you think it is when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And you grow up and you realize why kids do the things they do.
And it would be cool, like, as a kid to hear your parents tell you.
Yeah.
If you would have said something, there's been times where I'm like, I should have said something.
I've always tried to be open.
But then I always was afraid I was going to get in trouble.
Right. Well, yeah. And I mean, as a kid.
Or I already knew my mom was going to say no, so I didn't bother asking. And I know Elena does that.
Right.
They're going to say no. What's the point?
Yeah.
So it's like, I try to always make it a point like, hey, just ask.
Right.
Yeah, you might get a no, but you might not. So if you get a no, you get a no. Whatever. Right. If you get a yes, wow, that's awesome.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a great question. If you talk,
you know what? You're going to get in trouble. That's what I'm going to just tell my kids. Fuck it. They don't want to talk to me anyway.
You know what? Don't talk. Okay? I don't want to hear a word out of your mouth. Isn't that funny? That's how we used to treat kids in old society. It was like, you were to be seen and never heard.
That's true.
And truly, like, that was the approach. Was like, don't open your mouth. You have nothing good to say. Not one good thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, it is.
The good old days.
The good old days. But I'm good.
On that note, I think we talked everything.
I think we did.
Sorry, Dr. Phil. We went off on you today.
Yeah, it won't be the last.
Won't be the last time.
I'm sure we'll bring him up.
Your success just enrages me. But
just enrages us.
I'm so jealous. But
we hate you. We don't hate you. I don't hate anybody.
No, Dr. Phil, I don't.
I bet you he's a nice guy, actually.
I think, I'm being way too harsh on Dr. Phil.
I'm not. No, I'm just kidding.
And McCurley commercials.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Hey, if you are in the market, go to McCurley. They've treated us fine in the past.
I bought me and my wife bought our first car there. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not trashing them.
I'm just saying
the commercials.
Their commercials are trash.
Yeah, I mean, watch them for a laugh, I guess. But anyway, well, there's another week of Just Really Blended. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, have a good one.
Have a great one.
Thank you to the new subscriber.
Yeah, happy President's Day to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no work tomorrow.
Thank for those presidents.
I'll think of that word, too.
Yeah, we'll update you on that word. Jesse's trying to think of
I've been thinking of it ever since.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
know.
Have a good day.
You guys are on the edge of your seats for that one. All right, we're out.
Someone's screaming it right now. I bet. Oh, you got to stop, not leave.
Oh!